while it looked like Mississippi State was going to be able to compete and it looked like Mississippi State had a chance in this thing. But once Ole Miss went and scored that touchdown right before the half, you felt like it was over. I was kind of holding out hope that maybe Mississippi State could respond when they got the ball in the second half, score their own touchdown, and cut the lead back down to 3. That was not, or back down to 3. That was not to be the case, unfortunately. Mississippi State just ends up scoring a field goal. They were down 8 points at that point. That was as close as they ever got. Things you like. Obviously, we got Kamario Taylor for the entire game. He never came out. You kind of feel bad a little bit for Blake Shapen because they wait until the very last game to make this change. You feel bad for him, but it was the right call. It's what should have been done. But that's kind of the frustrating part about this is so many people have been calling, you need to make a change at quarterback. This offensive line isn't good enough to protect Blake Shapen. So you got to make a change. You just have to make a change at some point because the only person who can just do anything with the offensive line that is just so poor at creating protection for your quarterback is Kamario Taylor. And week after week, Jeff Levy just refused to make that change. He thought he got talked about wasted plays and all this type of stuff. And I would love to know what it was about this week that he decided now we need to make a change. Because I'll be real honest with you, what should have happened is when Blake Shapen went to get extra eligibility because he applied for and received an extra year of eligibility. And I'm sure Mississippi State encouraged him to do so if he wanted to. But what should have happened is you signed Luke Kromenhawk in the transfer portal. You signed Kamario Taylor in the incoming signing class. What should have happened with both of those players is you should have told Blake Shapen when he was contemplating coming back, whether or not, or if Jeff Levy asked him to go do so, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have tried to get an extra year of eligibility for Blake Shapen. You should have realized what you had with your offensive line. And I know they tried to get a couple of pieces. They just didn't work out in terms of improving the offensive line to the transfer portal. But you should have looked at what you had. You should have seen that Blake Shapen was either going to do what he did this year, basically stay healthy pretty much for the entire season, just not be effective because he's not mobile enough to use the offensive line that's in front of him. So you had that one option, or he was going to end up getting himself killed, kind of like he did the previous season, get hurt and not be available for the rest of the season. It should have been, Blake, we appreciate